Good morning, Commanders Nation. I feel like we may have found a hidden gem in Jacob Martin. Dude, I keep thinking about it. I'm just like, no. Jacob Martin could very well solve all of my problems. All throughout the offseason, you heard chunk-a-dunks like me just yammering about, oh, we need a third down pass rusher. It's true. We need to replace Dante Fowler. And I'm just like, no. Jacob Martin could very well be that guy for us. Coach Witt Jr. had this to say regarding the whole replacing Dante Fowler situation.
I don't think going into the year anybody thought Dante was going to have 10.5 sacks. We'll have somebody that to produce a higher sack total than what's thought to be, okay? And so who that person is, I don't know. Will it be a collective of guys? I don't know. But
is Jacob Martin our next Dante Fowler? Is he the reason why we didn't sign Zadarius Smith or Von Miller? Is he going to be the primary competition for Javonte Jean-Baptiste, a guy who the Commanders are really high on? Is he the reason why the Commanders feel secure at DE? So many questions. Did I eat Cinnamon Toast Crunch this morning? You damn right I did. This is a guy who I'm just like, don't sleep on Jacob Martin. Man, the more I read about him, the more impressed I am about this guy. But yeah, man, I did research. I'm going to share it with you guys. I found some impressive stats. I'm impressed. I'm impressed, dude. But yeah, if you want to help this video grow, please hit the like button. I'll truly appreciate it. And if you're feeling genuine, hit the subscribe button. Yeah, I greatly appreciate it. So basically, every article I read about him, I'm impressed about his mental. But I read articles saying that he firmly believes that he can beat any left tackle in this league, pass rushing wise. He said it. He's like, he feels like he's one of the best edge rushers in this league, pass rushing wise. He's that confident. I'm just like, gee, all right, because some people think that. They're like, oh yeah, I'm the best. But some people actually do it. And he actually has the stats to possibly back up his claim that he feels like he's one of the best. But I'm going to get to the stats in a bit. These are his PFF grades from last year. He's in the green. He's in the green, and that's all that matters. 63 overall grade last year. And this is all with the Bears, 67 green overall with pass rushing. Notable stat, he ranked 61st out of 211 edge rushers last year. Run defense, 54.9. Not the best run defender. He's 6'2". He's 6'2". He's kind of undersized. And again, these are good stats last year regarding pressure rate wise. And I'm going to get more into this pressure rate overall. But like the more I keep reading about him, he kind of fits that Dante Fowler role. Well, he's a primary pass rushing specialist. He's not going to give you that much in the run. He's not going to give you that much in the run defense. But we signed a lot of guys this offseason who are primary jobs is that. Dietrich Wise, Javon Kinlaw. We got Farrell back in town. This is his overall stats throughout his entire career, right? Somewhat of a journeyman, played with the Seahawks, was with the Texans for a bit, Jets, Broncos, Colts, and then Bears last year. Highest sack total in a year is 4. But he has never been a full-time pass rushing specialist or a full-time edge. Like one thing I keep seeing, like last year he only played 11 games. But for the most part, he's been up and down, like regarding, availability. Played 14 games, 17 games with the Texans, 17 games the year before with the Colts. So, yeah, so they had the experiment of him being a full-time DE. Didn't really pan out. And I think he's now like, okay, you know what? I'm going to be the freaking pass rushing specialist. I think he's now set in stone with that. I read articles saying that he's fine with that. But now look at this. Look at this. Coming into the Bears last year, with the Colts the year before, he recorded 2 sacks, 3 quarterback hits on 16% of his defensive snaps. That may not seem that much, but he also recorded 14 total pressures. And he had a team-high 17.3 pass rush win rate, all according to PFF. Not according to me, Commander Rose. According to PFF, 17.3 pass rush win rate with the Colts 2 years ago. He was like, that's really good. He was getting home. He wasn't sacking, but he was getting home. To me, I'm just like, just disrupt the quarterback. The sacks will come. The sacks will come. But now that's 2 years ago, right? Heading into the Bears. Now last year, this is how he did. Look, consistency. Last year, he had 126 pass rushing snaps, 17 total pressures, right? That equals out to a pressure rate of a nice 13.5% pressure rate win rate. Now you may be thinking, how does that stack up against everybody else? Myles Garrett, 17.4 pressure rate last year. Micah Parsons, 16.3% pressure rate. Jared Verse, defensive rookie of the year, 16.3. Some dudes who want Trey Hendrickson, 16.1. Jacob Martin, 13.5. Not that far behind him. In limited snaps, by the way. These are not, like full-time snaps like all these other guys. 17.4 2 years ago pressure win rate. 13.5 last year with the Bears. Consistency. Is he on the precipice of a breakout? Could he very well be the next Dante Fowler? Because I have here in my notes, like, Fowler coming into us last year, he was like kind of like not a forgotten commodity. He was a big name, but he was the guy, nobody expected him to have 10.5 sacks. As Joe Witt Jr. said in his press conference a couple days ago, nobody expected him to have 10.5 sacks. And I'm just like, could the Commanders very well be thinking, no, this is our Dante Fowler. This is a guy who can break out with more snaps, perhaps. Those are nice stats, dude. And, and like his contract, I'm going to put his contract right here. 1 year, $3 million. Like, again, like Fowler. Fowler only had a 1 year deal, too. It's just a lot of similarities with Dante Fowler, man. A lot of similarities. Granted, I will say this. I do feel like he's going to have major competition with Javonte Jean-Baptiste. The Commanders coaches are high on him. Commanders coaches are high on Javonte Jean-Baptiste. I'm high on Javonte Jean-Baptiste. But, I feel like one thing what happened with last year with us is that Dante Fowler, because of our depth on DE, was sometimes forced to play on the first and second down, and then we got wrecked. Dante Fowler, can't stop the run. But now we got DEs in the room who are just signed primarily to stop the run. Signed primarily to play first and second down. So Martin's not going to come in here and play first and second down. He's going to play the most important down, which is third down, pass rushing situations. I'm assuming opposite Dorrance Armstrong, but he's going to have to compete with Javonte Jean-Baptiste. Hey, man, the more I keep thinking about it, I'm just like, this guy could very well be one of the main reasons why we haven't signed Zadarius Smith or Von Miller. I think they think highly of him. Not highly, but they think that he's on the verge of making a name for himself in this league. He's only 29. Only 29. I believe Fowler was 29 last year, too. Is this Dante Fowler's little brother? What the Fowler was 29, boy. I'm going to confirm that right now. Live on air. Dante Fowler. Yeah, he's 29. Fowler was 29 last year. He's 30 now. No. Fowler was 30. Sorry. Look, I don't know. Fowler's turning 31 in August. But anyways, don't sleep on Jacob Martin, man. I think Adam Peters, they like to find hidden gems. Last year, they found some hidden gems, And it looks like, I think they zoned in on this guy. They have plenty of opportunities to add more veterans to the DE room. And I think they want, and I'm going to throw this nugget out here too. This is just my dumbass opinion. I really think they want to give Javonte Jean-Baptiste a shot. Granted, a seventh round pick last year. I think they want to give him a shot. And I think a competition of Javonte Jean-Baptiste versus Jacob Martin is a healthy enough competition that gives each of them a fair shot of being the DE opposite Dorrance Armstrong on third downs. I don't think none of them are going to start full time. I don't think so. I don't think so. I think the starting DE line is probably set with Armstrong, Newton, Payne, and then it's probably going to be Kinlaw or Dietrich Wise. Maybe Farrell, we don't know yet. That's a competition. That's a competition in training camp. But like for DE run stopping on first and second down, but there's a heavy door open out there for pass rushing situations on third down, and I'm assuming it's going to be Armstrong again. I think both of them could still play a lot. Whoever loses, because Armstrong's not going to play all third downs. He's going to be winded. But yeah, man, like I'm excited. I'm excited about Jacob Martin. Like when I did more research on him, I'm just like, no. I need to freaking calm down. I need to calm down. I think we may be straight if we don't sign Zadarius Smith or Von Miller. We may be straight. I'm not saying, to me, competition breeds greatness. If you bring one of them in here, they're going to want to play. So they're not going to sit on the bench. They can possibly cause turmoil on the bench. This may be the reason why we haven't signed any of them. I don't know. Watch us sign Zadarius Smith next week. And my dumb ass gonna be like, what the fuck? But yeah, man, don't sleep on Jacob Martin. I like this dude. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. I would truly appreciate it. Till next video. Peace, y'all.